So we're out at a new site that we just started last week, and we had the privilege of a couple of the inspectors, local inspectors, TC and Jeff, which we work with on a daily basis. They're great to work with, and we appreciate everything you do for us and your input and your comments and your responsiveness when we ask questions. So we're starting this new job on North Avenue, and it's a multi-family project. And just like every project we do, we started with getting our phase 1 erosion control and our 7-day letter. As you've seen in the plans, the engineer has the phase 1 erosion control laid out. What are y'all looking for on site versus the plans when you come out to something like this?
We're making sure that the construction exit is installed properly. Also, the pond is installed along with any other BMPs that have been listed by the civil engineer.
Yep, and
to make sure they're all installed correctly.
We use a lot of terms, throw out a lot of terminology, a lot of acronyms. BMPs is best management practices. When we get into the field, and this is where we ask them questions, they're great. They're a huge resource for us in telling us what our BMPs are, because sometimes you can draw it on paper and it may not work in the field, which is why we say BMPs, best management practices. We may have to deviate from the plans a little bit, but we always do our best to call you first and ask, and then y'all give us your input. When you first come out on site, so you're looking for, make sure the temporary pond's installed. What's the importance of a temporary pond?
To make sure that all water during a rain event filters into that pond.
Yeah.
It keeps it contained.
All right, so what we're doing is we're trying the best to our ability is to keep all water on site where it gets treated before it runs off the site. As you can see on the plans, the pond has an overflow, and we've got rip-rap check dams from the diversion ditch from the site. There's actual pond area, and then the overflow is going through some riprap, which should help filter out any of the sediment. And again, the most important thing we do is try and keep any sediment, any mud on site. Don't let it leave the site and contaminate public waterways.
Mentioning that, Dwayne, one of the first things that we look for is what you've already got installed, the perimeter silt fence.
Yep.
That's one of the first lines of measure to help with erosion before you start constructing these items as well.
Yeah. So what is the purpose of the silt fence? Because a lot of people say, is that just a barrier, or is it to keep people out of the site, or really from your point of view, what is the main purpose of the silt fence?
It's to help, with any sediment that does, in case this pond does overflow or something. I mean, it's an additional measure out there. It's not meant to hold the water. The pond is meant to hold, but if something did happen with this pond, we've got that additional measure out there.
Yep.
And that's our last line of defense, but it's also, to me, it's one of our first lines of defense to keep this separate from the public or neighboring properties, whatever may be bordering the project.
Exactly, and a lot of people mistake, they'll see water running through the silt fence. Well, the silt fence is designed for water to go through, and the silt fence, all it is just a web of material that keeps the sediment on this side and lets water go through. That way it's not building up and blowing out. Now, an important thing that we don't always do the best of is keeping that silt fence clean. What do y'all see? What are some of the things y'all see from time to time?
As far as keeping it clean,
yeah.
I mean, every once in a while it'll build up, it'll blow over.
Yep.
The sediment will build up and blow over. Sometimes it'll get undermined. The water, when it starts hitting it and concentrated, it'll start rolling or boiling, and it'll undermine it and run out. You hit on this just a little bit. One of the misconceptions people think when they see water running through it, it'll come out orange. And that's not necessarily a violation. I mean, that's doing what it's designed to do. It's designed to filter that, to hold back as much of the heavy sediment as possible, but it will release stained water.
Yes.
Stained water is not necessarily a violation.
That is a huge term you just said, stained water, because I've had to deal with neighboring homeowners in the past, and they're like, you're getting mud out. And I'm like, no ma'am, that is stained. If you'll walk, and I've actually walked over and pointed out, You see all the sediment built up behind this silt fence? That's the sediment. The orange water that you see going out is stained water. It's been treated, and we're releasing just actually stained water, not necessarily sediment that could create a problem.
I mean, and there are some cases where we may need to take additional measures.
Yep.
If it's continuous, there may need to go back to the engineer for some redesign to see if we could take some of that water off of the silt fence, but it's on a case-by-case basis.
Yep. And another thing that we implement is, so there is a little bit of clearing on this job site. So what we're doing is we'll clear, and then we'll actually log these trees out. And our intent is to bring in a grinder and come in and grind the shavings, and then we'll add as additional measure of protection is we'll actually put the shavings on the inside of the silt fence, stay about 1 foot to 2 feet off of it, so that's just that extra layer of protection, especially in the low areas. Well, like I said, y'all have been a great resource for us and a great partner in this industry, and I know I call y'all a bunch and ask questions. We try our best to head off any issues, but like any contractor, we still have issues, we still screw up, we still cause problems, but we do our best to try and alleviate that and fix whatever we do screw up. So we appreciate it.
We appreciate the same. It's teamwork.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're all trying to get the same common goal. We're just working together to do it the most efficient way. And Dave's done a great job out here with this project getting started. Like I said, we have our 7-day letter inspection request in, which allows us to now start clearing and grubbing the site, and that's the phase we're on now. Bray Siteworks, baby. Woo!